Hi, welcome to this edition of On Tap, presented by FCSI The Americas. I'm Wade Kaler, Executive Director. On Tap this week, we welcome who I call one of the best dreamers and doers we have within the FCSI membership. He's always on the lookout for new technology and methodologies to improve his clients' services as well as his own. He's spoken at multiple conferences within the industry about future tech and services, and I love my discussions with him since I'm sort of a techie myself here. He's one of the most active board members I've ever worked with in my career, and I can't wait to get the discussion started. Please help me welcome the CEO and founder of FoodSpace, Mr. Joe Schumaker. Hey, Joe, welcome to the show.
Hey, Wade. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. I've been looking forward to this. Before we get going, try to give the audience a little bit of background of everybody. So tell us a little bit about how you got your start in the food service industry, as well as what led you into being a food service consultant.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people don't know. I actually started my career in retail. I was actually store manager at Toys R Us. And my second Christmas, I was like, you know what, forget this. And I saw a commercial for California Culinary Academy up in San Francisco. And a couple of weeks later, I quit my job and went to culinary school. So I'm actually a chef. So I started a catering company in 2006 in Silicon Valley. And somewhere along the lines, I started sitting with architects, designing kitchens. And over the decade of running my catering company, I found this passion for architecture and food and how those things converge. And so FoodSpace was born out of that journey.
So a long ways away from the all your friends hitting you up for Xboxes and game stations and everything else.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So as you started your firm 6 years ago with FoodSpace, what kind of specialties or segments do you mainly focus in on as not only you, but your employees when it comes to design and management?
Yeah, for sure. So we've definitely found our niche in corporate dining, specifically Silicon Valley tech companies, right? That's how we were born, and that's where we come from. But more recently, we have definitely been broadening our specter here, and looking at K through 12, looking at higher ed. We've done a little bit of sports and entertainment. So for us, although probably 80% of our work is in corporate tech, we really are trying to diversify, and I think we bring a lot to the table for those other sectors.
Nice. What is of all the ones you've done so far, what is maybe one or two of the top projects that you've worked on where at the end of it you were like, I'm really proud of this one, I want to show this one off?
Yeah, I think there's two that come to mind. One of them is complete and the other one's not yet complete. So the one that's complete, we did for Palo Alto Networks, we did all of their new building, their building 4, and just really knocked it out of the park with sort of a mini food hall concept, which was a lot of fun, and then a huge catering kitchen. And then we're in the middle of, it's a very long project, but it will be the largest all-electric building in North America for a little company called Adobe. And it's been a lot of fun. It's one of those projects where there's constant change and iteration because of how long of a project it is. They're building an 18-story building in San Jose, California, right? And so we've been involved from the ground up, and it's been really exciting, a lot of fun, and we've learned a lot.
So all electric, huh? So as a designer, how has that changed the way you've had to look at things?
So not so much maybe a little bit as a designer, but as a chef, you just go, oh man, no gas, right? I mean, but the reality is this is coming, right? This is coming, and it's here. And I think all designers need to embrace it and learn about it. I've seen a couple of my colleagues around the country doing seminars and webinars just like I have on this topic, because I think it's an interesting topic, right? Yeah. We've also been doing a lot of hybrid kitchens where we get the gas consumption down very, very low. Charbroilers need gas, right? Like you can't charbroil a steak without gas. Yeah. So, and then also the other side of this is education, because I don't think chefs are, they're not fully immersed in induction technology, for example.
Right.
Yet. And so I think as consultants, we gotta help move that forward.
Yeah, well, they're all taught on gas and prefer it, obviously, just like you do.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
So it's that burn mentality, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What is there been anybody that's been a greatest or greater influence on your career so far?
On the design side, I'd say there's a couple. Actually, I just saw Mike Berard's episode. I think he's been an influence to me. He's one of the first people I met at FCSI. Nice. And then also, I think my clients, right? A lot of my clients have been amazing in terms of just the collaborative nature of how they operate, right? Silicon Valley Tech is a very collaborative place. And so even on the food side, where it's a free amenity to their employees in a lot of cases, they want to collaborate and they want to help, we all help each other grow. And I think that's key.
Well, that brings me to the next question on the things that you've done, because we've talked about this before, but is there anything different designing a complete food service operations for an employee type area where there is no payment system, sort of, it's all free, it's all benefit of being an employee? Do you have to take a different mentality into that versus a cash credit type system?
Yeah, and I think it depends a little bit on the client, right? Some clients operate with sort of no budget in mind, so to speak, which sounds crazy, right? But a lot of our clients that have free food programs, there's a very strong budget component to this. And a lot of people don't realize the strategy that goes into thinking about plate sizes, thinking about flow. We need to get people in and out very quickly, but at the same time, we need to give them variety.
Yeah.
And so, you've got to look at portion control. You've got to look at how to limit waste. So we've done a lot of research on waste management, which you wouldn't think of in this environment, but anything that goes in the bin is pure cost,
Sure.
just like any other operation.
Sure. And everybody if it's all free, I would assume that there's a little bit more waste because people take more sometimes than they actually need because they're not having to pay for it.
That's right. So you almost get into the psychology of habits.
Of course.
And, ironically, my business partner is a marriage and family therapist. So that kind of helps, balance us out. So
nice. What's one thing about Joe that no one would ever guess? If they were to look at you and go, you would tell them what this is, they'd be no way they could ever come up with that.
So meeting people that don't know me as well, probably the fact that I'm a very competitive Little League baseball coach, and also travel ball coach, and have been for coming up on my 9th year of coaching. So we'll be entering the Little League All-Stars tournament here pretty soon. And yeah, very competitive though, out on the field. I'm focused and ready to go.
The competitive side does not surprise me at all. So I'm good luck coming up on the season too.
Thank you.
You and I have had many conversations. You're always on, and I said it in the intro, you're always on the front edge of the technology side of our industry or what's coming up. And I've learned a lot about up and coming things from you. What's one either a techie thing or new cool gadget coming up that you've got your eyes on right now?
Oh man, it's this eye in the sky thing. The camera technology for me is, I think, where we're heading. Right, cameras can do amazing things, and I've seen recently a camera system that uses camera and thermal imaging to actually track not only your employees' movements, but like, are they washing their hands properly? And then if they're not, it'll actually send you a text message. And while it's doing that, it's actually temping the water to make sure that the water is getting up over 100 degrees. So it's pretty cool technology. It does a lot of other things, but it's very, very cool. And I think it's a sign of what's ahead, right? Where cameras are going to be monitoring so many parts of our lives.
Yeah, it really is George Orwell coming a little bit later than he envisioned, but it's definitely coming.
And it's only 21, right? I mean,
exactly.
Yeah.
What's been your greatest screw up that you've had in your career? And then kind of from that, what did you learn from it?
Greatest screw up in my career. I think I've made some mistakes with some specific people, employees. And I think I've learned from that. And one in particular was a pretty key person at my catering company years ago, and just made a misstep, and she bailed, and that really did change the way I thought about how people matter.
Okay. Well, that's good. We grow from that. That's being an owner, just like myself, it's not an easy thing sometimes. And you think you have all the answers, but a lot of times you don't have anybody else to fall back on.
That's right.
It's, we definitely are guilty of that at times. What's one piece of advice you would give to anyone thinking about becoming a food service consultant?
Learn how to be a ferocious learner, and don't get blinders on, because there's a lot of different paths to doing what we do.
Yeah, good one. As an owner of the firm, what task or maybe tasks plural, deserve a lot of your attention, but rarely gets it?
RFIs and submittals.
Okay.
Just, I mean, across the board, I think, the attention to detail on what happens downstream after we've designed. I think it's really easy to let other people within the organization just handle that because it seems menial, but super important part of what happens in the field.
Good one. When you're getting ready to travel to a client, what are the 3 things that you must have with you when you get ready to leave?
Ironically, still business cards. That's, one of them. Depending on where I'm going, orange vest and a hard hat. That's always fun to pack. And then the third is just being prepared, making sure the inbox is cleaned out, making sure that my team knows what's going on, just all of that preparedness that leads up to a trip.
When you come up on a mental block, whether it's a writer's block or design block or whatever it may be, what are some trick or thing that you might do to break that for yourself?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I think one thing that FoodSpace has done a good job of is we collaborate on just about every design. So we have an internal working session with the team, and we actually design live in Revit with the team. And so I think that really helps with the mental block. But also, I tap a lot of resources. I've got a lot of friends around that, some would call them competitors maybe, but for me, these are my friends, including you. I've called you up sometimes and just talked about stuff, right? And so I think it's important to not feel like we're not in a bubble, and we're not in our own, like we're not going to hurt ourselves by expanding outside of our own organization to grow and to learn. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't think about.
Very well said. I completely agree. And it's one of the things I talk to about FCSI members the most is, our association is made up of so many small business owners that, again, like we talked about a little earlier, we have a tendency to be expected to know all the answers or to be expected to know what to do next. And we get caught in our own little bubbles at times. And so reaching out to what you quote unquote competitors is kind of gone by the wayside now as far as looking at everybody as competitors. It seems like the industry, our consulting industry, has changed a little bit with moving to more collaborators, to where even if you're going to compete, everybody's in it to help each other along the way too. So I think it's really important to reach out and if you've got that block or if you've got that question you don't know the answer to, is ask a fellow consultant. You might find something completely different that helps you along the way.
Yep. That's exactly right.
Well, Joe, that's all the questions I've got for you today. But before you let you go, I've got a few would you rather questions I'd like to go through with you. If you don't mind, we'll get through these pretty quickly. Would you rather tell bad knock-knock jokes to everyone you meet or talk about yourself in the third person all the time?
Bad knock-knock jokes.
Okay. Would you rather be famous as a comedian or as a musician?
Comedian.
Vacation in a luxury penthouse or the remote wilderness?
Remote wilderness.
I knew that was going to be. Ride the scariest roller coaster in the world or bungee jump off the tallest bridge in the world?
Scariest roller coaster. Bungee jumping freaks me out.
Would you rather know all the secrets to space or all the secrets to the ocean?
Oof, that's a good question. I'm going to go with space because I think it's bigger.
Never do laundry again or never do dishes again?
Well, I don't do a lot of laundry, so I guess I have to go with dishes.
All right. Would you rather be more technologically inclined or better with people?
Well, I think I'm pretty technologically inclined, so I wish I was better with people.
Okay. Would you rather give up soda or coffee for a year or go without brushing your teeth for a year?
I don't drink coffee, so I'll go with that. Brushing my teeth, no. Not happening.
And the last one, would you rather fight 3 half-size clones of yourself or 1 full-size clone of yourself?
Oh, okay. I love this question. I'm going to go with the 3 half-size.
All right, perfect. Well, Joe, tell people how they can get in touch with you and find out more about you and FoodSpace.
So we have a great website, myfoodspace.com, and coming soon. We just opened an office in New Jersey, going to be opening an office in Alabama here in the next couple months. So
nice.
Just going forward.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, that wraps up this edition of On Tap, presented by FCSI the Americas. If you enjoyed today's episode, please make sure to subscribe to On Tap and all your favorite podcasting platforms. And turn on notifications to make sure you don't miss out on any episode. A huge thank you to all the FCSI members that have participated. We couldn't do this without you. And as always, cheers.